Hey guys, how are you? This is Jim Prusak here, physical therapist at the Pain PT. I want to discuss with you guys today this idea that it's not a setback. It's not a setback. And what I mean by this is that a lot of people, when you're going through this journey and you're starting to make a little progress, you're starting to do a little better, and this is something I see all the time. So that's why I want to talk to you guys about this today, is that look, what you're dealing with here in your brain is a pattern. It's a bad habit, you could say. It's a memory. And what happens is when you start to test and challenge and start to move forward, you're going to get upticks in your symptoms. You're going to get this sort of reaction. Now, this happens to most people. It's part of the recovery. It's part of the healing journey. It's not a setback, okay? When people think it's a setback, it's like, oh, I've gotten pushed all the way back to where I started. I'm starting over again. I'm feeling terrible. I'm feeling down. I'm a failure. I'm not going to get better. No, that's not true, guys. It's not true. The reason you're getting these upticks and getting these reactions is because you are moving forward, okay? You are moving this direction. And all of a sudden over here on this side is, you can call it a hurdle or a roadblock that you've got to get through. Now, the reason why this happens in your brain is because that limbic brain, that amygdala, its job is meant to protect you, okay? And it's going to do everything in its power to try to stop you and alert you that there's something dangerous, there's a threat. Now, as we know with this work, is the brain, that part of your brain doesn't have the knowledge or the intellect, let's say. That's your cortex, which gets developed in your late 20s. That's our thinking brain that understands these things. But the amygdala, it's not going to work that way. So if you've had previous trauma, PTSD, adverse childhood events, you've had panic attack, history of anxiety, a lot of stress that went on, well, what happens is that brain, you probably know this from me talking about it already, but we want to hammer this home, is that limbic brain gets turned on, and then the pattern starts developing, and it starts quite quickly for some people with pain because it's such a strong sensation or a symptom. And then that becomes the loop, the pattern, okay, that's going on, the memory, whatever you want to call it. And that's not going to die off or become extinct, just like a bad habit is not going to go away in a short amount of time. And when people are trying to break bad habits, what's the thing we got to do? We have to be very consistent and persistent in the right way and do it repetitively day after day to form a different habit, a new neural pathway, you could say. But while we're doing that, the old neural pathway, the old pattern, the old habit may rear its head, because that's what it does. And especially with pain, even more so, or with bad symptoms, because it's associated with danger, threat, okay? And that's why it really it can rear its head very strongly. You can get very strong symptoms. A lot of people I work with, we're making progress. We're moving forward. Had a couple good days, a couple good weeks, maybe even a couple good months. And all of a sudden, whammo, whacked with huge symptoms. And usually it occurs when we are so-called pushing ourselves for it, but we're not, right? We have to think about this. We're not pushing ourselves forward when we're doing normal things. That's not pushing. Now, you have to use your intellectual mind to look at this and go, wait a second. Was I really pushing myself? Was it too much? Was it outside the realm of what most people do, a normal thing? And if the answer is no, then it's just this reaction going on. It's just the brain protection pattern rearing its head. And so we want to continue on. Okay, so again, this is a roadblock, not a setback. It's something that rears its head as part of the healing process. And one of the ways I know people are making progress in this is that they're able to get through them. That these roadblocks don't stall us out for too long. We don't get stuck there for very long. We can manage it, we can work with it, we can move through it. Because these are actually opportunities, guys. This word, I love it. It's an opportunity to break the pattern, to break the habit, to really show your brain that you're not scared, you're not worried, you're not upset, you're not going down the tubes again and thinking, oh no, this pattern, oh no, I can't do this, it's too much now. I did too much. I shouldn't have done that. No, not at all. You should have done that because it's normal. Teach your brain that, hey, calm down, relax, brain. There's nothing wrong with what I'm doing. You're overreacting. And again, I'm not going to listen to this because I have another part of my brain that says, look, this is not too much. If it appears to be, I need to handle it better. I need to learn how to handle and regulate the stress or whatever it is I'm doing better by continuing to apply that to myself, to continue to expose myself. That's the word, exposure. Continuing to challenge, continuing to confront. Those are the words that the researchers use as well, confrontation. So we want to confront the pattern. We want to challenge it. We want to expose ourselves. Now, we need to do that with the mental piece intact, the understanding, the prefrontal cortex that's working for us, that's perceiving and interpreting the symptoms now and knows that this is not dangerous, this is fine. Calm down. Maybe take a little bit of time to relax, do some somatic tracking, soothe, settle. But what I don't want you guys to do is to reinforce the pattern. Okay, you're making progress, you're doing good, and whammo, you get hit. Don't reinforce that pattern by believing that now something's different, something's wrong again. It's not. This is the test. This happens to almost everybody. So to pass the test, you've been studying all the material. Now it's game time. We got to use this right in the middle of this sort of uptick in reaction of symptoms, that we stay the course. Again, we might soothe, calm, settle for a little bit, but we get back on the horse, so to speak. The next day, if we can, we get back on the horse. We start moving forward again. Even if it's not 100% where it was, we still are starting to move forward because we want to show the brain that, look, we're not scared of that. You got it wrong, brain. You got it wrong. We're actually fine. I know you're thinking there's danger, you're thinking there's threat, and you're telling me that strongly because you don't want me to do it. But I'm telling you that there isn't. And so you have to teach the brain that now. That pattern that exists, that's rearing its head, the reaction pattern, it will not change on its own. That's the thing about it. It doesn't autocorrect. That's what the researchers know now. The amygdala, limbic brain will not autocorrect on its own. You need to teach it that through your words, your thoughts, your beliefs, your messages, your actions, how you handle things, how you move forward, how you regulate your emotions, how you deal with these things. All those things are the brain patterns that you're working with to heal. So guys, it's not a setback. It is not a setback if you've been doing the work and you're starting to try to move forward and all of a sudden, whammo, it's a roadblock, a test, an opportunity to get through it. And you're going to get hit with these along the way because that is the pattern or habit rearing its head. We can call this extinction burst as well, where you're getting burst of this stuff before it goes away. Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward, guys. Don't let these things push you back, or don't let your brain consider this a setback. It's not. Hopefully that's helpful, guys. I really want you to know that this could happen to you. You probably maybe have already experienced this, but if you're starting the journey now and you think it's all smooth sailing, well, it may not be. And it's probably not going to be because, again, this is what the brain is programmed to do. So expect it, but handle it. Be able to handle it when it comes and keep moving forward. All right, talk to you later, guys. Bye-bye.